Hey, hello and welcome. Welcome to Module 8, Websites and Landing Pages, April 2026 updates. There's been a lot going on in the world of websites and landing pages, especially things that are affected by AI. And it's not just the way websites are built, it's about the content as well. Anyway, let's get started and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll just go into screen share as I normally do. Okay, so hopefully now you should be able to see me in the corner and you can see the screen share of the slideshow. So obviously, as you can see, it's Module 8, Websites and Landing Pages, the update for April 2026. As I mentioned on the course, I will update modules as and when there is significant changes, and hopefully that adds to the course and keeps it up to date as far as possible. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing to say, the AI revolution. I suppose I mean AI has been about since obviously the since we launched the course, but obviously the AI revolution is taking place in front of our eyes. I mean, if we go back to thinking about how old AI actually is, what was it? October 2023 that it came out, was it? Yeah, 2.5 years. So yeah, I think it's 2.5 years since it came out. So now we're going through what I refer to as the AI revolution. So yes, AI is impacting the way websites and landing pages are created, and here's why. So AI can now what we call write code or assist with coding. So if you think back to early on in the module, before the updates, we talked about custom coded websites and how certain bits of code are added to websites. So even if you've got a WordPress website, code is added to that website to make it a bit easier. Of course, in the past, we've always needed software engineers or people who know about coding, but what AI can do now is write coding for you. However, if you are a software developer or a website coder or someone like that, don't think, oh, right, okay, this is my job gone. Remember, AI is going to be about the people who are using AI. So even though AI can write the code for me or assist with the coding for me, there will be times where I will still need the expertise of a software developer or if things aren't working as the way I should do. And what I think this will mean overall is that people are just going to make things better. So people who would have maybe accepted a certain standard in the past now will say, well, actually, there's technology there and there's AI there that allows us to make it better. The analogy I like to use is photographers. When camera phones came out, at the time we said, oh, we won't need photographers anymore. Wedding photographers won't be needed anymore. People will have the photographs on their phone, etc., etc. To a certain degree, yeah, we all do have phones and we can all take pictures as and when we want. But I still see wedding photographers. I still see wedding videographers. So once again, I think the standards have just increased, and we always want that professional looking photo. So as I just mentioned, AI can write code or assist in coding. Next thing, we already know AI can write website content and create images. So from what we know with things like ChatGPT, and I will refer to ChatGPT because it controls well, links that come to a website through AI. 95% of them come through ChatGPT. So I will probably just say ChatGPT I suppose as the way we say Google, don't we? If we say we'll Google it, you might use Yahoo or Bing, but when someone says search engine, when no one ever says I'm going to go search for it on a search engine, they usually just say Google it. So if I do mention ChatGPT, it's in the same way. So we already know that things like ChatGPT can create website content, and now it can create images as well. And obviously, for those of you who have done the AI module or have seen the updates to the AI module, will see that things are changing. So in the past, when ChatGPT couldn't create images, it can now. So the point I'm trying to say is that we already know it can do this stuff. So if I say, can you create a piece of content for this particular part of this particular website, it could do that for us. And then if I ask for an image, it could create that image. And once again, I suppose these days we know that sometimes the images look a bit AI, but once again, that comes down to you, and it comes down to, I suppose, once again, people who are using AI and the skill of the prompt, or the not expertise, but maybe the level of prompting, what you say, what you don't say. And once again, we still, from time to time, will need these platforms that allow us to buy stock images. Next thing, CMS websites are now creating web pages, websites from prompts, design, text, and images. And we're going to be doing this later on, so hold on to your hats for that. So yes, content management system websites are now creating websites from prompts. So literally you're typing in a prompt and it's creating a website. So can you see now, I suppose earlier on we would have been thinking, yeah, we can just copy and paste that straight from ChatGPT onto our website. I'd never suggest doing that, but you should always make some changes to it and add it. Well, basically, I don't want to digress, but the way AI produces content, you should always have a look at it and check it. Yes, it might do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, but you still need that human touch and that understanding of the business. You do at the moment, to make sure you're making changes. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is that we're not having to do that copy and pasting and editing now. The website is being created within these CMS systems, which we'll touch on shortly. Plugins and features are becoming more advanced, and once again, because of the increase or the advancements of technology, these plugins, features, things that you can add to a website are just getting better. And obviously AI helps with this, but sometimes it's just technology. Landing page and website content can change based on what gets, oops, let me just, yeah, can based on what gets the best results. Sorry, I have a little cursor over my screen, so sometimes I can't see it. But yeah, landing page and website content can change based on what gets the best results. And remember, it's all about results. We're in a results game. What is the customer looking for? You can't just create content because you think it looks good. Remember, when you've done the different modules in this course, and if you haven't, don't worry. Remember, this course can be done as separate different modules depending on what you want to look into. But what I would advise is do the whole 20 module course, because it will add even more value. But what I'm trying to say is that when we understand what the customer wants, then we need to make sure we put that on our website. However, what the customer wants will always change over time. What customer may have wanted 15 years ago from something like a mobile phone or a smartphone is very different to what it wants now. Because obviously we've got Face ID and things like that now, so we'd want the technology to move on. So what we're requesting as customers will change. Then you've also got this semi-agentic AI that can use links to web pages within workflows and triggers. Don't worry if that's thrown you or anything. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But what we mean a bit about semi-agentic AI, we mean like when we have processes and workflows. So when you sign up for a webinar, you get the link to a web page and you get this and then you get that. It's all part of the process. What semi-agentic AI will allow us to do with that is include those web pages within that trigger.